The top feature of the new iPhone 16 is the camera control, a button you can use to open the camera and take pictures. This button is also touch sensitive and pressure sensitive, so you can zoom in or out and change camera settings all from this one button. But then what kind of case should you get? Well, there are really two varieties. There are cases with a cutout over the camera control, both in the thin, lightweight style and in the thicker, more protective style. And there are also cases with a touch-sensitive covering over the button. I have both Apple's official clear case and this third-party OtterBox case. We're going to put all four kinds of cases to the test. So let's start with cases with a camera cutout, representing the lightweight thin case category. This one is made out of cactus leather. Interesting. This one is a rubbery sort of soft touch. And this one is a more traditional plastic hard shell case. I'm going to try out this one here. You can see it has support for MagSafe here. I'm going to put in the Desert Titanium iPhone 16 Pro. Very comfortable in the hand, and the purple complements the Desert Titanium quite nicely. Representing the thicker, bulkier cases, we have the Defender Pro in dark green, Defender Pro XT in this blue and orange marble color, and the Commuter in this sort of teal. I'm going to go with this one here. This is really what you think of when you think of an OtterBox. Attach this to the side, snap it in, and then put it in its outer shell. So the advantage of this style of case is that you have truly unimpeded access to the camera control. I can just click it and use it exactly as it's supposed to. I can half click to zoom in, and click it to take a picture. I can do the double click to switch between different functions, turn up the exposure, and there we go. You can see the picture I've taken. The downside being that this edge isn't protected at all. It's kind of unlikely that your phone would fall out of your hands and land exactly here. Usually phones hit on a corner after a tumble, but that is exposed. And I have to say, it looks especially ridiculous on this one. You have the giant, thick plastic and rubber shell. You even have the enclosed charging cable. But then you have this giant pit on the side. Now, the nice thing about this is that it actually makes the case easier to hold. Normally, when you have a case this large, I can't wrap my hand around the case entirely. My fingers are really stretched if I try to hold it up here. But where I naturally sit, the opening for the camera control makes a sort of pocket. Kind of gets me extra grip, honestly. Everywhere else is protected. I mean, that's the Achilles heel right there. So what's it like using the camera control in this style of case? Honestly, not that great. Because naturally what I want to do is brace my palm against here and wrap my finger around the top. Then I can zoom in like this, click it to take a picture, what have you. But this is a terrible way to hold the camera if you're trying to record a video, because your palm is completely blocking one of the primary microphones. If you try recording a video like this, it's going to sound terrible. Instead, what you want to do is sort of pinch it between your middle finger up here, your thumb down here. You're partially blocking the screen this way, but you have much better control. I can zoom in, full access to the controls. You have a little bit of a worse grip this way because you're just sort of pinching it here. You have to brace it in this lower corner as well. So that's what it's like using the camera control through a capacitive cutout. You do have complete access to all of the features and everything, but you do have to give up a little bit of protection along the way. Now, I feel like OtterBox played it safe here because you could have a bit of the case extend just over this corner here, and I feel like you would still be able to touch it just as easily. But honestly, if your preferred style of case is the super thick maximum protection, you're going to have a slightly diminished camera control experience, because I don't know if you can have a capacitive, touch-sensitive pass-through covering that goes this thick. So let's move on to our next style of case. I have two cases with a touch-sensitive, capacitive pass-through that goes on top of the camera control. We're going to try each and see if third-party cases perform any differently than Apple's own. Apple's official clear case here completely covers the camera control. So you have that smooth right side of the phone, but you can still click it to open the camera control, and it's touch sensitive, so it'll translate all of the finger swiping you do on the side. But Apple's case is exposed on the bottom, so while this area is more prone to damage from falling, it is easier to swipe up from the bottom and do that new tap to Siri gesture. The OtterBox Lumen also covers the camera control, so you have that full protected right edge of the phone with a pass-through button that's touch sensitive. And OtterBox's also covers the entire bottom edge of the phone. But without further ado, let's compare how the camera control works on both of these. Starting with Apple's, we'll do a half click. Yep. You get a little bit less of the haptic feedback through the case. I can slide my finger, works pretty well. Quick swipe to switch between zoom levels, snap to take a picture, zoom out, snap to take a picture. There we go, seems to work pretty well, as we would expect. We'll switch to the OtterBox case, test it out as well. Half click. Yep, we can adjust the exposure here, still translate well. Click. Yeah, I'm not noticing any sort of difference here. We'll do a quick take video here. Pretty easy. Try that as well. Click and hold. Easy to record a video. If you want a third-party case, you don't have to worry about losing access to the camera control. The OtterBox Lumen offers just as much access to the camera control as Apple's official Clear case. It's really a matter of which trade-off you want. The OtterBox case offers the full protective bottom, but neither of these cases offer quite the same degree of protection over the whole rear of the phone as your more traditional rubber over hard shell, super protective OtterBox case. The downside being that this style of case has the camera control exposed. If you want to touch the camera control directly and you want a sort of lightweight, more fun case, mostly for style over protection, you still have a lot of choices here as well. So thank you for watching. I hope this helped you make your decision over what kind of case to get. All of the cases shown in this video will be linked in the video description. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm D. Griffin Jones with Cult of Mac.